Now, nothing in my situation had ever changed, right? I was still without scholarship. I was still the underdog. I was still undervalued, underappreciated, and I was being rejected. But I knew if I excelled at what I could control, and if I had faith, things were going to work itself out. Well, I kept working. I kept excelling at the controllables in the shadows, behind the scenes, nobody knowing my name. Even when people were telling me, Justin, just go settle for going to maybe a smaller school or junior college, or just figure something else out. It's like, no, I feel like I have what it takes. A couple months down the road after signing day, signing day was in February. In May, I get a call from Cal, UC Berkeley, and I'll never forget the look on my dad's face when he gets the call, and he's talking to the representative at Cal, and he looks over to me, he says, Justin, UC Berkeley wants to offer you a scholarship. I was like, what? UC Berkeley, Cal wants to offer me a scholarship? He's like, yeah, son. I'm like, where is UC Berkeley? I grew up in the South, so we weren't watching anything in California. It was Florida, Miami, Texas, Florida State, Oklahoma. I wasn't watching, but I was one step closer to my dream. I got a school that wanted me and believed in me. But as soon as I touched down in Berkeley, California, those criticisms that started when I was 7 years old are still following me. I don't know if this guy can make it. He's short, too small, not big enough, not fast enough. I'm playing with some amazing players at this time. My quarterback is a guy that lives in Green Bay right now named Aaron Rodgers. My fellow teammate and running back, my roommate and fellow classmate is a guy named Marshawn Lynch, who ended up being sort of a big deal. So we came in together, and we're ranked number 11 at the time. We were number 1 public institute in the world as far as academia, and I'm excited to be there, right? I couldn't have written this book, but I still had a lot to prove. Marshawn and I, we started in the backfield as a tandem, and he had some great success. He ended up getting drafted after his junior season, and my senior season comes, and I'm the starting running back for Cal, for UC Berkeley, from a guy that was being rejected, no one wanted, but I stuck to it, and I ended up being the starting running back. And I'm breaking records, I'm having success that year. I'm one step closer to my dreams of being in the NFL. That same vision that I had when I was sitting on my parents' waterbed and looking out the window. I'm one step closer to my dream. I'm getting ready, and we finished the season my senior year and setting myself up in position to get drafted high. But as soon as I got to meet the coaches and going through the interview process with the NFL and going through the combine and senior bowls and things like that, and our interviews are a little bit different. I don't know if you see them on TV, where you guys probably do interviews with clothes on, but we only have a girdle on, and they're telling us to jump and run and bench press things. So I do okay for those things, right? And I have a great track record, and my performance on the field spoke for itself. But there's still doubt. He's too small. He's too short. The NFL is different. This is the best of the best. This guy won't make it. He needs to put on a lot more weight or get taller. I ended up getting drafted in 2008, pick 233. Just a few picks from being Mr. Irrelevant. I played 9 years in the NFL. I was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks first, and experienced some good highs, some great highs, and I was rejected, demoted, had some injuries. I was stuck in the friend zone. Anybody ever been in the friend zone? Like, don't raise your hand, just blink a couple times. Okay, I see one, I see two. Okay, there's one in the back, I see you. Bless you. I don't mean it that way. Like, I was with these organizations that said, Justin, we like you, but we don't love you. Like, at least not in that way, right? They didn't want to commit to me. They had me in this zone where, like, you're good for a short amount of time, but you're not worth investing in. The corporate friend zone. But I played and stayed 9 years and walked away on my own terms because in the shadows, I excelled at the controllables, my attitude, my effort, my preparation. I had the ability to make people better around me. But how many know that even if you excel at controllables and you do everything right, life can still be hard? While you're in the shadows and you're in obscurity and you're waiting for your breakthrough, the second thing that you need to do is build a huddle. Build a huddle. You need to find some men and women in your life that you can do life with. People that are going to allow you to be transparent and vulnerable, because vulnerability leads to growth. You see, when I got in a huddle, I played with Peyton Manning, right? And Peyton is an awesome quarterback, Hall of Fame, just went into the Hall of Fame, and awesome human being. And one thing he would do when he would get into that huddle, and he would walk in there with his huddle stride, and he had a big head, and he would walk in there, and I mean, it was a really big head when he got in that huddle. And he would get down on his knee, and he would call a play, and he would always give me three things in that huddle. He would give me warning, he would give me encouragement, and he would give me instruction. He would give me warning, he would give me encouragement, and he would give me instruction. That is not only useful on a playing field, but also in our day-to-day lives. We need a group of people in our lives that are going to give us warning, going to give us encouragement, and give us instruction. Not yes men, but people that are going to tell us when to push and when to pivot. People that are going to hold us accountable. If we say we're going to go back and go get our degree, or if we're going to go back and get an extra certificate that's going to allow us to propel further in our career, they're going to be with us and hold us accountable. They're going to lock arms with us, and when they get tired and want to feel like when you want to feel like you want to give up, they're going to be there with you to say, no, we're not giving up. You made a commitment. I'm going to stay here with you. So when you're feeling tired and you want to study that extra hour during the night, they say, these people are going to come along with you and say, hey, I'm going to bring you some coffee, we're going to get some donuts, and we're going to stay up and we're going to finish this thing. That's the huddle. That's the group of people that you need to do life with. People that are going to remind you who you are and whose you are. When people want to start rumors about you, when people want to gossip about you, when the headlines say one thing about you, when people only want to talk about your past, these people are going to remind you who you are and tell you the truth. And just some people that allow you to vent. How many can agree that sometimes when you're going through some difficult times and you're in the shadows and you're waiting for your breakthrough, you don't even want anybody just to talk. You just want somebody just to give you their ear. I just need somebody where I feel honest and transparent and vulnerable enough just to listen to me talk. I don't need you to say a word. I just want you to sit there and listen. That comes from the huddle. It comes from people that we trust. See, it's difficult when we're facing adversity. We tend to isolate ourselves. We try to separate ourselves from the huddle because we may feel so much disappointment and frustration, or maybe even a little bit of embarrassment of things that we're going through. But that's the time when we need to dig in deeper with our huddle, when we need to lock arms. So we got to build a huddle when times get difficult. Because if not, in isolation, we start creating these storylines that don't even exist. These things that probably aren't even true. When I was going through difficult times, sometimes I would just create these storylines in my head like, oh, this person just doesn't like me. It's all politics. They got a personal vendetta against me. Things that weren't even true, but when I would take it back to my huddle, they were like, bro, you're in the wrong here. There could be some other options. I don't think that this person just doesn't like you. You need to maybe change this, or this. That comes from the huddle. Find you a group of people that you can do life with. And in a huddle, you got to make sure that you're not the only person that adds value in your circle, right? If you're the only person that adds value in your circle, then it's not a circle, it's a prison. And you need to do some additions by subtraction. You need to find some pieces, some men and women that add value in your life, not people that are just going to take. You must build a huddle while you're in the shadows.